This is my model Anise for my practice. So I'm just starting with micellar water and some cotton pads and just cleansing all of our skin to prepare for the application. For adhesive, I'm using the Pro-Key adhesive, and I'm just going to put this in a wee shot glass just to stop cross-contamination when applying. I'm going to use some cotton buds in this, and I'm just going to mark out where I'm putting the horns on her head. So this is going to be at either side of the head just to give me a guide to where to then put the horns. Once I've got that marked up and I'm letting that glue become tacky on her head, I'm just going to separate the two horns from each other to make it easier when applying so that I can get them even. And then I'm going to use the same Pro-Key adhesive on the back of each of these and apply it all over the base and all over so about an inch off of the silicone at the bottom, just so that I still surround the cap plastic for even blending. Once the glue is applied and it's become a wee bit tacky, I'm then just going to kind of mark it out where I'm going to apply it and just press it thoroughly down onto the head and stretch out that cap plastic to make sure there's no wrinkling when applying. I'm just going to hold that down for a couple of seconds as well, just to make sure that it's really stuck and I don't want anything falling apart. And then I ask my model here if she can hold it while I get the glue prepped on the next horn. I'm now following the same process here, just applying the Pro-Key to the back of the prosthetic, and then I will apply it and make sure that it's even to the other side. Once both of these have been allowed to dry and are stuck to the head, I'm then going to go in with a cotton bud and some IPA that I've put into a shot glass and just start to remove that cutting edge, as it can be quite weighty and I don't want it to weigh down the prosthetics and make them fall off. Once both cutting edges have been removed, I'm just going to go in with a cotton bud and some IPA again and just blend out the cap plastic into the skin to give it a seamless edge. Once that's all blended, I'm just going to use my Revolution foundation stick and just take that all over where the blended cat plastic is and down the face. I'm going to blend it out using a little disposable sponge, which you will see in a minute, and just take it all over the face so that it's all one even tone. Then using a little kabuki brush and the Revolution translucent powder, I'm just going to pour some of that out onto a flat surface and just take it into the brush and tap it all over the face and all over the prosthetic to give it a matte look. I find using a kabuki brush really packs in the powder well. Of course I love a powder puff as well, but the kabuki brush does a really good job at blending. I'm then just using a little paintbrush and the black colour from my SFX palette by Revolution, and I'm just painting this over the horns just to give them a more opaque, like deeper black tone, because they do look a little bit miscoloured just because of the casting process. Using an alcohol palette here, I'm just going to use the tone Fresh Blood and Gel Blood, and I just like to mix these together to give a really kind of deep red tone. Just using some IPA on a little paintbrush here and just painting it into the kind of fleshy part of the horns to give it more dimension. Going back in with that Fresh Blood colour with some IPA, I'm just going to make it a wee bit more watery and use a stiffer brush here and just flick it over the kind of fleshy parts to blend it in and give it more skin tone, because the pinks really adds to make it more look natural. Here you can see I'm just going back in with some Pro-Key adhesive on a cotton bud because some of the horn started lifting up from the cat plastic. This was an issue just in my application, but I never managed to fix, but I know that going forward. Time for removal. As you can see, we had a little bit of fun with this. I'm just going to start off using some Pro Clean and transfer that into a little shot glass. I'm just going to use a little cotton bud here and just start to break away all that cat plastic around the edges of the horns, just to make it easier when taking off. At this point here, the horn actually separated from the cat plastic, so this was not me ripping it off my model. This was just the silicone separating from the cat plastic. Moving forward, I'm going to use more deadener. I used less deadener in this cast, which is why it didn't really stick well to the cat plastic, but I think if I use more deadener, it will be more sticky, therefore the cat plastic will stick better. But continuing on, I'm just really slowly taking that cotton bud and rolling it through the cat plastic with the Pro Clean just to remove it, being extra careful here at this section with the eyebrows, as I don't want to take any hair or effect, as this is a really sensitive area. Continuing on, I'm just doing the next one. Same process, just really slowly taking that off. As you can see in a second, this one done the exact same thing where it just separated completely from the cat plastic. And that's why you can see me taking this off here. Once the bulk of the cat plastic is removed, I'm just going in here with a little cotton bud and some more Pro Clean and just removing any excess from the hairline and the eyebrows, as this where the cat plastic tends to stick a little bit more just because there's hair and it's more grip. Going in here with some cleansing balm. This is the wee one by the Inculist. I'm just going to take this and massage it over my model's face here, so that I can break down any excess product, because foundation sticks tend to be quite thick products and I just want to remove it all thoroughly. I'm going to first start off to remove this using some micellar water and some cotton pads. I'm just going to take this all over the face and just try and get as much off as possible before I go in with a cleanser. This is the wee residual amount of Pro Clean I had, so I just thought I'd take a little cotton pad and dip it into it and just take all the rest of the hairline, because after I'd removed the foundation I could see that there was still some cat plastic that was stuck in the hairline, so I just took that cotton pad and really worked it into it so that I could remove all that I could. Using this little number 7 deep clean cleanser, I'm just going to take that again all over the face. This is a little water-based cleanser, so it's really nice to just use, and you can use it without water. I'm just going to massage that really all into my model's face for a deep cleanse. Using a little flannel soaked with lukewarm water, I'm just taking that over the face, making sure that I really get all of that makeup and oil off of the skin. I'm just going to use the wet side and then dab the skin dry with the dry side. Using this hydrating moisturiser by number 7, this is just a little water-based aqua cream, and I'm just going to use this to give some more moisture back into the skin after that application. And we're done!